This is the new Mercedes-AMG GT 4-door coupe, and it's got something you have never seen on an electric car before. Not only does it play a V8 soundtrack, which is realistic, and you have step gear changes, but it can do this. You feel vibrations through the seat, like there's a real engine on board. And I'm going to prove it to you with my mobile phone. I'm running a vibrometer app. As you can see, there's no movement, 0, 0, with the car in sport mode, but when I put it into Sport Plus, it wakes up the artificial V8. Watch this. You can see the vibrations now, with the car on tick over, and if I rev it by pressing the accelerator, look! It's such a clever idea. And it doesn't just do it on the driver's seat, I'm getting it through the passenger seat, and you also get it through the rear seats as well. That's not all though. It's also the first car in the world to feature an active Venturi tunnel, so a segment of the car just pops out from underneath it to speed airflow underneath for increased downforce. Alternatively, if reducing drag is more your thing, you can spec it with the world's first active rear diffuser. Never seen that on a production car before, and it's a perfect place to just put your drink. Other core features include an active spoiler. You have hands-free front boot opening. And you know how AMGs have one man, one engine plaque? Well, you have a plaque here, but instead there's a QR code which you can follow. To find out where it takes you, it's there. Then there's these special dials which become fully active when I turn the stability control all the way off. By pressing here and holding, that's it disengaged, and now look at this. I can vary the traction and wheel slip, like on an Amg GT Pro. I can alter the agility, so the steering feel, and also how much the car rotates when you turn it into a corner, and of course, I can change the throttle response. That's gonna be a lot of fun. And you've got to remember that all this is in a 4-door electric car, though to be fair, it is wrapped up in the bodywork of a sports car. It follows on from the GT concept. They have toned it down a bit, but it still looks very aggressive. This particular car has the upgraded grille with the LED lighting in the grille. Oh look, I've just activated the front boot again. You also have the 3-pointed star in the headlights. Moving down the side, we've got 21-inch alloy wheels on this car. It's got a very sloping roof line. The roof is actually lower than on the previous internal combustion engine Amg GT 4-door. Then at the rear, very, very distinctive. Not quite as aggressive as the concept car. Probably a little bit too plasticky maybe, but I absolutely adore this LED strip and the 3-pointed stars here in the tail lights. It looks cool, and they haven't tried to give it some fake exhaust. It just looks very, very sporty, especially in this new yellow colour. The theme continues on the inside as well. This feels like a proper AMG. You've got the AMG Sport steering wheel with the configurable driving mode dials here and here. We have a central rev counter, though it's in EV mode at the moment. They've put it into Sport Plus, then we get the traditional rev counter. We've got this new infotainment screen here, great graphics, angled towards the driver, and we've got some AMG apps where you can tailor different driving modes. Then there's a second screen here for the passenger. It's nice, big and clear, but I'm not sure about this step bit. Other than that, I love the interior of this car with this big center console. This one's got carbon fiber on it, more carbon fiber on the door. Love the quilting, the seats, you know, good, solid AMG sport seats hold you in place. This definitely feels like something special. It feels equally as sporty here in the back. You've got individual sport seats for rear passengers, and they hold it tight as well, whilst also being comfortable. Headroom is impressive, knee room is good too, but the best bit is, unlike with other EVs where you often feel like your knees are like that because there's batteries underneath the floor, they've actually cut out the footwell, so look at the under thigh support here, look at that, it's all good. The only thing is that the footwells do still feel a little bit tight, but it's still surprisingly comfy for this kind of car. Now, this car has the carbon roof. It does mean that if it's not very light outside, it can feel quite dark in here, but you can get one with a glass roof. That's probably what I would go for. This is why I like the glass roof better. If I slide this slider here on the screen, I can make the AMG logo appear. That looks cool, and we can do the usual things with AMG and Mercedes glass roofs, so I can dim it like that, or I can give it a motif like that. One thing that does disappoint me a little bit is that I was expecting an electric door release Instead, you have to pull this lever here. I don't think that's in keeping with this car's price.
And I'll reveal exactly how much this new GT 4-door costs later in the video, because it's a bit of a mixed bag. But before that, I need to show you another reason why this car has a split personality.
For a car as aggressive as this, which makes this noise when you approach it, it's surprisingly practical. Look, we've got hands-free tailgate opening and a hatchback tailgate. There's 415 litres of space in there, which probably means nothing to you, but I'll illustrate with my body like I usually do. I've got plenty of room in here, you see, plenty. And I'm not worried about being trapped because I can exit rather easily because in here, look, you can fold down the rear seats. What makes the Amg Gt 4-door so special are its 3 electric motors. You have 2 on the rear axle, so you have torque vectoring, and then on the front you have a single electric motor with an E-diff, so once again torque vectoring, and the motors are axial flux motors, which means they're quite thin but have a large surface area, so they're good at cooling themselves down, which means you can have consistent high power. So this thing has 1200 horsepower. That's madness. In the lowest setting, it has 1000 horsepower, and it should be able to deliver all of that up to 30% battery capacity, which is mad for an electric car. But then the batteries are quite clever. 106 kilowatts cylindrical batteries with oil cooling.
This setup makes it easier to keep all the individual cells within their ideal temperature window. And that's crucial on a track where they're being constantly drained and recharged through heavy acceleration and heavy regen braking. The technology has been developed with the help of Mercedes Formula 1 team, and it's similar to what you got in the AMG 1 and the old GT 4-door hybrid. However, unlike those cars, which could only manage about 10 miles in electric-only mode, the new GT 4-door can do 440 miles on a full charge.
In terms of charging, up to 600 kilowatts, which is very impressive if you can find a 600 kilowatt charger.
But what about the performance? Well, this 63 version with 1,169 horsepower can do 0 to 60 miles an hour in 2.4 seconds. That's a tenth of a second slower than a Porsche Taycan Turbo GT, but both cars hit 124 miles an hour in an incredible 6.4 seconds. That's on par with the Bugatti Chiron. However, if it's outright performance you want, the Turbo GT with its Visac pack is slightly quicker still. So I wouldn't be surprised if AMG brings out a Black Series version of this car in a few years' time.
The new AMG GT 4-door goes on sale later this year. It's going to be priced from around 120 all the way up to almost £200,000. But to be fair, this is the first mainstream electric car that I'm truly excited to get and drive.